Hi, this is the Narayanak with another episode thoughts for Uta no Prince-sama Maji Love Revelations, and this is for episode 7, where we get another focus on a quartet night member, this time on Kurosaki Ranmaru, who is the one who used to be part of a rock band but ended up joining a shining agency. In this episode we pretty much learn, I think his father kind of invited him to, or a friend of his father's? Why am I forgetting this already? But either way, after his last band broke up, he was invited to join the agency, which is good to kind of explain how in the world he ended up in Shining Satome's agency, because he seemed like such an ill fit concerning his past to being part of a rock band and everything, and still having a pretty passionate love for that, which of course actually takes us to the heart of the issue of this episode, where Ranmaru has decided that he's gonna go ahead and actually give up rock. And just kind of focus on being a member of Quartet Night and, being an idol, which seems to be connected to this kind of outdoor stage where there's this rock festival pretty much set for it before it gets demolished, that we see kind of pop up as he does these daily runs, as he keeps training. And of course Quartet Night and Stars both kind of, or even the teachers, basically everyone notices that Ranmaru is pushing himself way too far. Of course, during all this, Haruka is kind of set to write a song for Ranmaru, and of course everyone knows that he's connected to rock, and so she wants to do a rock-themed kind of song for him, but he actually tells her that he's given up rock and roll, so, not to bother, which of course gets everyone pretty much worried about him, because that's just such a big part. I think one thing I really would have liked to see in this episode would have been a little bit more of Ren and Masato, seeing as, they're his juniors, and, they're supposed to, according to the games from what I've read, have a really long past with him, but that doesn't get touched upon at all. They just have little bits of knowledge that they kind of give at certain points to kind of help progress the story along in this episode. Other than that, they're very much in the background, which I was kind of sad to see, because with the other members of Quartet Night, their juniors were a much bigger part of their storyline for their episode. So that did not quite happen in this one. But on the other hand, we did get a lot of solid, good focus on Ranmaru. And it's just still some of the conflicted feelings that he has, especially when his old band goes ahead and calls him up to ask to do that one last live together, and he ends up refusing. And of course, with Haruka, she kind of gets, kind of learns everything that she needs to actually be that kind of helpful voice for him, by just simply bringing up the fact that, to be an idol, he doesn't really have to give up his love for rock music, and pretty much once she kind of gets him to understand that, he decides that he's still going to try to, make the festival, even though that's a rock concert festival thing, even though he has work at the same time. Of course, when he gets there with Haruka at the end, it's already over, yet he still goes ahead and performs his song, because, we need a song performance each episode. So we get that, and basically nice, happy ending for him, as his performance is able to bring back everyone to see, and all that lovely, cheesy corniness that is the heart and soul of Uta no Prince-sama that I just completely and utterly adore. I think I definitely liked this episode quite a bit, because like I said, Ranmaru did get a good deal of focus. on it, and I definitely feel like I understand his character a lot more. Unfortunately, you know, I can't see that with like Camus, but I can see that with Ai. So I'm hoping that Reiji ends up pretty much getting the same kind of treatment in a sense where, you know, it's get a much better idea of the character. But even then, it feels like with all of them, we're just like scratching the surface. Like there's just so much more to learn. But I think that was also kind of the feeling a lot about Starish in their first season too. Outside of course Tokia, because he was like the main focus of that season. So I do hope that since we don't seem to have so much of one main focus character of this season, that it does mean that, you know, maybe they will focus a bit more on Quartet Night a little later, and we get to see a little bit more development with them, which I would just love to see. Though that said, I'm assuming at some point soon we're going to have that episode that really kind of kicks in the plot of the entire season. I do think, yeah. I know the next episode, though, is just kind of finishing off the cross units episode, since we have one more for that. And then we have Reiji's, you know, kind of spotlight episode. So I'm kind of curious to how they're going to play that out, if they're going to switch things up, which they kind of do have to, because it's usually episode 8 that, you know, they go ahead and focus on the season, like, plot arc. But if they're doing that cross units episode, then they may actually kind of delay that, or maybe just actually kind of shift from what they've been doing from the past 2 seasons, which I'll be interested in seeing if that's what they do. I don't think if they do some kind of shifting, it won't be that much. But it kind of follows its formulas pretty closely, but it's still lots of fun just because of how like over the top it is. And again, just really love the series and really enjoyed this episode. Despite the fact that I was disappointed that we didn't have Ren and Masato in it so much compared to like the other episodes with Quartet Night members, and how you know, their juniors, or like the Starish members featured in those just a little bit more closely, I felt. But you know, there's still quite a bit of season to go, and I am still really hoping that, you know, we will get a 4th season, even though it may be a bit of a wait. But I'm already hoping for that, because I definitely want more of this series. And since I'm now just kind of rambling on, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. So thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel, leave a like or comment. Until next time, bye!